Now let me say that all these junctions are routed differently. So if you want to figure it out, you're going to have to take them apart. Here's the yellow junction. Now, inside of this junction here, all right, you can see on the left and right side of it, be on the left side, there you can see a little metal in there. Those are connected. Right? So those top two on the left and the bottom two on the left, all four of those are connected. And then beside that, there's four on top and four on bottom. The four on top are connected, and the four on the bottom are connected to each other. And then the four all the way to the right on the top are connected. And then all the four on the bottom are connected. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 junctions in here. The red and the gray one are different, have a different junction on them. So to verify that, you're going to have to go in there, and you can also use an ohm meter to test the continuity of all them. Let's get back to the power that I'm feeding this instrument cluster here. So like I said, I got my ranges, my left signal, and my fuel gauge. I couldn't really get the fuel gauge sorted because I got to get like resistance in there to help change it, so I didn't really get to that. But this is the best example I've got right here of trying to fix gauges and what my issue is. You see my high range light coming on? From driving this tractor too, high range is the one that doesn't like to work the most, and then medium as well. And low seems to work the best. Alright, let's just show you here. That's my medium light. Alright. Or no, high, sorry. That's high, medium, low. I think on this one we got, let me try to find a rabbit in the, oop, that's lights. I think that's the main power. That's turtle right there. That's on this one, this male connector. I think, where is rabbit? There, nope, that's turtle again. There's rabbit. So I'm up on this top one here, and down here, right next to it is rabbit. And then on this female plug here, let me show you if I got, that's a main light. That's right. That's my left signal. See, it's dim. Alright, so here's the other thing. Stick that wire in there. I go back here and wiggle some wires around. Let me just make sure I got the right one. Wiggle some wires. Let's go back and try to figure the other one out. Alright, there it is. I had the wrong one. So I take that wire and I kind of just jam it. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Just jam it down in there. This one's really touchy. You see how it's just wiggling around and stuff? I got a bad connection in a wire somewhere. And this one really gets dim and all that. Alright, so that's just one of the wires. But for the best example here, I'm going to show you is that high range. Because I know exactly what wire it is. So we got high range. Alright, and I wrote down on, the good thing is that red connector on the back of this, that is numbered with pins. So I can tell you exactly what pin that is. is it? Alright, so let me restart here. I've got my high range light on by plugging it into my round pin, and that is the blue wire coming out of that pin. The teal and yellow is the common power going down to it, and the power comes up through that blue wire. When you have it in high range, it comes out ground, from what I can tell here. Alright, then there's a yellow with a red, which is medium, and yellow and purple, and that is low range. Alright, so on high range, where my problem is, pin number 12 on the back of that red connector on this, that is where the blue wire goes through. The yellow and red for medium, that goes to pin number 11, and low range is pin 16. If you add power to the teal and yellow wire, you can just like hear like a relay in there clicking. I don't exactly know. It just must be giving power to a relay internally. So I'm gonna wiggle the blue wire on pin number 12, which is down in here, is this wire right here, and I'm just gonna wiggle it for you. And I'll just show you what happens. Alright, only wiggling that one wire. Come on, baby, don't make a liar out of me. Alright, there we go. I can guarantee I'm only wiggling that wire. Alright, now I'll also go and grab the ground, which is on pin number 25. I'll wiggle that one. Alright, now I'll come back and I'll wiggle the medium after changing that over. That's my medium light. I'll start wiggling that one. See how that one changes? Then I can even do low range, but low range is pretty good. That one doesn't seem to short out or open, which is really what it's doing. It's not shorting, it's opening. That's the yellow and purple one. Yeah, that one just barely blinks. It has a pretty good connection in that harness there. So this is the back of that harness. Various wires in here. On mine, I'm quite certain I've determined that the wires from here on back are good. You can wiggle them, but the worst is when you wiggle them up in here specifically, that's when they start to open up. And you can also wiggle this whole piece, and that will also change all the wires, or the lighting in here. Alright. I hope this is helpful to someone out there with this wiring harness that has the same tractor, same issues. I spent a couple days trying to figure this out. You know, just try to be safe about adding power to stuff. Just use a fuse in your jumpers if that's the way you're doing it. This is kind of case specific with the tractor and the instrument cluster and the wiring, and it's an open cab, it's 4-wheel drive, yada yada. It's just kind of a matter of taking your time and doing this. I really don't have a fix right now for this because I don't have a tool or new terminals I can add into that plug. So I'm kind of out of luck, but I know where and what the problem is right now. So that's a good start on figuring and diagnosing the problem. I think that's really mainly what's important here. Wiring harness is not available for this tractor, so you know, it is what it is. And I've determined that my wires are good. I've tested multiple of the teal and yellow wires that go through the harness with an ohm meter. Yeah, it's not a 12 volt a load test or anything like that. So, but granted, they are like an 18 or a 6, probably like an 18 or 20 uh, gauge wire, so real thin. So if there is a break or something there, wiggling it, you'd see the ohm meter going crazy and your voltage, and you can add voltage to every single wire and test it for 12 volts as well. That's another option depending on where your problems are. Um, just for reference, if you got problems, this main harness here, with all these plugs, this goes down under your steering column and down and connects into the various harnesses that go into the back of the tractor, and including the fuel gauge and probably the electronic lift. All right, and there's plugs like these, green, blue, and black. Those are the working lights. Then you can tell here that there's a plug, and this goes into like your engine harness, common ground, then power. I forgot exactly what this wire goes to. You got your junctions to check out, and what's nice about them is you can open them up and take that top off, and that way you can actually isolate every single wire in there. If you have the tops on and you're trying to check for ohms, you're checking like the whole circuit, so it doesn't quite, you're not really finding anything out that way. And there's things like, the ignition switch here connects into this side of the harness. There's some auxiliary wires, and then there's your fuses. They're you can get them out. It was kind of tough. You got a horn, your horn, and your four-way flashers. You got a flasher, four-way flasher harness there, and you've also got a relay and 2 more junction blocks. Anyways, all right. I hope I helped someone out there with this problem, trying to at least figure out wires. If you don't have like a wiring diagram, kind of where to start and where to figure it out. Like I said, I took a long time, just tracking down all the wires. This really helped me, kind of making a picture of what they looked like, and writing a little diagram of the pins. Even though this is kind of specific to what this wouldn't jibe with a wiring diagram, so it's pretty much only for me, but at least I can use it as my own reference. And I made that little diagram in here like this. That was pretty much all the routing for power going to the instrument cluster and the other places it would go and lead, which pretty much supplies power to everything in the tractor, for the lights and all that. Again, I hope this helps you. Got some questions, give me a holler. I'll see if I can help you. And that's kind of how you start diagnosing some problems on a wiring harness on a tractor or truck or anything, really. It's just can't find a harness, just got to do it manually, track it down, see what you can figure out. So thanks for watching, take it easy.